Welcome, everyone. Sorry for the inconvenience. Apparently, I didn't have no audio, so I was just speaking to myself. It was brought to my attention that the audio wasn't working. So I want to welcome everyone out there on social media. I am broadcasting once again on all my platforms. So I want to welcome my YouTube family, Instagram family, Facebook, TikTok, and then of course, Twitter. I want to welcome everyone out there, all the beautiful star seeds, galactic Jedis that are spread around the planet. Thank you so much for being here on a Monday night. Before I take some questions, I will go over the latest in solar activity. We've had some amazing CMEs that have been coming in the last week, record breaking, and we are expecting even more powerful solar activity in the next couple weeks. So how's everyone doing out there? I hope you guys are all doing great. Here in California, it is getting a little cold now. You know, winter is starting to bloom. I am going to be kicking off my book tour at Stairway to the Stars Disclosure Fest this coming weekend. I'm going to be there Saturday, but I don't speak until Sunday. On Sunday, in Las Vegas, I'm going to be speaking on the AI panel from 11:30, I think, to about 2 o'clock. And then I'm going to be on the Ascension panel from 2 to 4. And then, of course, I'm going to be delivering my Cosmic Origin presentation from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. over at the Luxor in Vegas this weekend. So for those that are going to Stairway to the Stars, I'm going to be delivering a mind-blowing revelation about the cosmic structure, the 15-dimensional time matrix, galactic history, and much more. It's going to be mind-bending. I will like to go over an article that I found regarding the latest activity that is coming from our sun. So this is reported from earthscience.com, and it appears that enormous solar eruption called the Canyon of Fire has been extending more than 60,000 miles. All right, so let's get into this. So on Halloween night, an astonishing astronomical event took place that highlighted the incredible and sometimes terrifying dynamics of our closest star, the sun. A massive solar eruption resulted in a 62,000 mile long canyon of fire carved into the sun's surface, a spectacular occurrence that was captured by NASA's Solar Dynamic Observatory. Immense canyon of fire eruption. The eruption was so vast that the valley it created on the solar surface was more than twice as wide as the contiguous United States and 7 times longer than the Earth itself. NASA's footage showed an immense plume of plasma erupting from the sun, forming a filament on the southeastern limb that rapidly extended and then burst, hurling electrifying gas in what is known as the Earth Strike Zone. So, sunspot AR3477. This phenomenon was the result of sunspot AR3477 unleashing an M flare, which has the potential to cause brief radio blackouts in Earth's polar regions. The dimensions of this fiery canyon were staggering, measuring approximately 62,000 or 6,200 miles wide and stretching to an enormous 62,000 miles in length. The plume's sheer size was enough to be observed by NASA's Perseverance rover, despite the red planet being 145.59 miles wide or miles away from the solar chaos. Intense solar activity. Notably, the formation of this canyon of fire coincides with the sun approaching its phase of solar maximum, a period of particularly intense solar activity that occurs roughly every 11 years. This event was preceded by the growth of a solar prominence, a loop of magnetized plasma in the sun's southern hemisphere. This prominence became unstable and eventually broke away, racing into space and leaving a gaping canyon-like hole in the sun's superhot plasma surface. So this is called the Canyon of Fire. It's been coming in the last week. To put the enormity of this solar event into perspective, the plasma raven dwarfed our planet's Grand Canyon by about 620 times in width and 224 times in length. That's pretty big. Even compared to the solar system's largest known canyon, the Valles Marine's on Mars, the fiery solar feature was 50 times wider and 25 times longer. While the plasma plumes from such eruptions can potentially cause geomagnetic storms and auroras upon reaching Earth's, this particular prominence's trajectory will fortunately miss our planet, alleviating concerns of any potential geomagnetic disturbances. Study implications. The implications of this solar observation go beyond mere spectacle. In 2021, researchers used data to trace the fingerprints of plasma to the sun's chromosphere, enhancing the understanding of solar storms and their origins. With this knowledge, there's potential for better predicting significant solar events, allowing for faster mitigation of risk to space crews, satellites, and even ground-based technology and power grids. This Halloween event serves as a reminder of the sun's power and the importance of studying our dynamic star, not only for the pursuit of knowledge, but also for the practical benefits to protect our technology-depending society. More about the sun. The sun is the star at the center of our solar system. It's a nearly perfect sphere of hot plasma radiating energy through nuclear fusion that occurs in its core. This process converts hydrogen into helium and releases a tremendous amount of energy in the form of light and heat. The sun is about 4.6 billion years old and is expected to continue its main sequence phase for another 5 billion years or so before evolving into a red giant and finally a white dwarf. It has a diameter of about 139 million kilometers and is large enough to fit approximately 1.3 million Earths inside. Oh wow, that's pretty interesting. Solar maximum. The solar maximum, or solar max, is the period of greatest solar activity in the 11-year cycle of the sun. During this time, solar phenomena like solar flares and sunspots are more frequent. This heightened activity is due to the magnetic field on the sun becoming more tangled, which is caused by the differential rotation of the star. The equator rotates faster than the poles. The solar maximum contrasts with the solar minimum when such phenomena are at their least frequent. The cycle affects space weather and can have implications for satellite integrity and communication systems on Earth. Geomagnetic storms. Geomagnetic storms are disturbances in Earth's magnetosphere that are caused by changes in the solar wind and interplanetary magnetic field near Earth. These storms result from the impact of solar eruptions like coronal mass ejections, CMEs, or high-speed solar wind streams emanating from the solar coronal holes. When these solar winds and magnetic fields interact with Earth's magnetic field, they can cause complex changes, including the temporary disturbances of the Earth's magnetosphere. The severity of geomagnetic storms is categorized by NOAA's space weather scales into G1 minor to G5 extreme storms. Effects of this storm can range from auroras, northern and southern lights, to disruptions in radio communications, navigation systems, and even power grids during these severe storms. Now, they call this the Halloween storms because it started coming in on the 31st of October. The Halloween storms. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the Halloween storms, a series of powerful solar storms that occurred around the end of October and beginning of November of 2023. These storms were some of the largest and most intense solar events ever recorded. They produced high levels of solar radiation, radio blackouts, and geomagnetic activity due to several strong flares and coronal mass ejections, CMEs, from the sun. The most significant flares during this period were classified as X-class flares, which are the most intense category. The storms affected satellite operations, power grid operations, and even astronaut safety precautions had to be taken due to the high levels of radiation. Auroras were seen at particularly low latitudes in places where they are not usually visible Due to the strength of the geomagnetic storms, these storms provide a lot of data and insight into space weather and have been studied extremely to better understand the sun's behavior and to improve the ability to predict and mitigate the effects of solar activity on modern technology. So this report is coming from earth.com, Earth Science. So that explains why, in the last couple of weeks, or in the last week rather, we have been receiving some massive CMEs, and it's only the beginning. It is believed that they are just going to increase as we prepare for the biggest eruption that I believe, and that also, as many are expecting, hopefully it to be the solar flash, because we do need that change. We do need that trigger that is going to activate the dormant DNA as prophesied in those ancient records. Now, I'm going to answer some questions, but before I do so, I do have a very simple but yet powerful message. I was on a phone call today with my friend Billy, who I met in last year's book tour in Georgia, and one of the things that he told me, which really is a message that everybody should know about, is the fact that the more we are healthy, the more we put in good things within our body, the more nutrients we take, the more superfoods we take, drinking good water, the more we keep our bodies healthy through proper exercise and only eating organics, by the way, the easier it's going to be for us to activate our light body. And the more so are we going to be able to absorb more of the gamma ray frequencies that are activating our dormant DNA. So it's very important to treat your body like a temple, okay? And with that in mind, let's consider this. What if we all stop supporting grocery stores and start supporting our local farmers? All right, because we know that all of that food that comes from the grocery stores is full of poisons, okay? It's designed to keep our bodies unhealthy. So let's take it upon ourselves to begin supporting our local farmers so that we could eat real organic food that comes from the farmers market. So I encourage each and every single one of you to get your groceries at the farmers market and stop supporting grocery stores. All right, that is one way to exit the matrix. That is one way to no longer conform to the conventional way of doing things, okay? Again, let's also begin to support natural, holistic medicine as opposed to, going to Save-On or CVS and buying Tylenol. All right, case in point. Everything that we need when we have a headache, when we have a cold or a flu, or anything, there is a remedy in natural herbal medicine. So if we could begin to support the alternative medicine as opposed to buying aspirin or Tylenol, we are contributing to the fall of the matrix, okay? And another thing I wanted to point out to every beautiful soul out there is that we have to start practicing tolerance towards everyone. So it goes beyond just religion. It goes beyond, belief systems. It's also about respecting people's choice of food intake. All right. I noticed that there is a growing number of vegans out there that are in the spiritual community that are hating on people that are eating meat. Not everyone could be a vegan. Some people required meat in order to be healthy, all right? Everybody's body is different. Some people are meant to be carnivores. Some people are meant to be vegans. Some people are meant to be vegetarians. And we have to honor and respect everyone's decision, all right? You know why? Because we don't want to end up like these religious pockets, all right? We don't want to end up like these pockets of political idealisms. If we want to create the new earth, we have to begin by learning how to agree to disagree and still be okay and still honoring everybody's personal eating habits and everybody's belief systems. All right? We have to stop creating little groups and becoming extremists in whatever it is that we do. all right? In the new world, okay? In the new world, everyone's going to be honored and everyone's belief system is going to be honored, okay? Because remember, we are heading into a society. Okay, let me just rephrase it this way. In order to build the golden age, we have to stop our judgment of others that are not agreeing or doing whatever it is that we do. We have to have that tolerance. We have to have that acceptance. And we have to build our community by honoring everybody's personal eating habits or belief systems. We have to do that, guys. That's the only way we're ever going to create a brotherhood and sisterhood of oneness on this planet, is by honoring everybody's choice of whatever it is that they want to do in their lives. All right? So I wanted to point that out because there's been a lot of infighting in our community between the carnivores and the vegans. All right? It sounds like modern day religion. All right? As celestials in human form, as star beings in human form, we have to remember why we came here. We came here to build a community of light warriors, light workers, right? In order to live in harmony with one another. So with that half said, I'm going to go ahead and take some questions on both sides. Again, I want to welcome my, star brothers and sisters, galactic Jedis from all over the world, broadcasting on every platform. So I want to welcome my YouTube family, my Facebook family, my Instagram family, TikTok, and of course, Twitter. Welcome. Thank you very much for being here. And 1 second. All right, so I just want to remind you guys that I do have a lot of comments coming in. How many? All right, so I was just informed that about 1,000 people are on the live right now from all my platforms. I want to welcome each and every single one of you. I'm going to try to answer questions from both sides, my YouTube channel and my social media. So I'm going to start with, let's see, where? What? No, not now. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to start answering questions. So I have, let me see, where can I begin? I have 1,000 people watching me. That's awesome. All right, so let me try to first find my cursor here. All right, so I'm going to start with, oh, there we go. All right, so the first question, I'm going to start on the right. I see. Okay, I see. All right, so I'm going to start on the right. All right, so Elizabeth Namaste is asking, we are not allowed to process, oh, where is it? Where is it? I just lost it. We are not allowed to process the chat is going so fast, everyone. I apologize. Let's see. Wow. All right, so I have two chats, to the left and to my right. I'm trying to answer questions, but they're just going way too fast. All right, so let's see. I'm trying to just focus on one question. I'm trying to pause it, but the chat keeps moving, so please be patient and bear with me. All right, so this is just going way too fast. Okay, so let me go to my YouTube channel and answer some of these questions. I'm sorry, guys. On all my other social media platforms, it's just it's going so fast. I can't even focus on one question. I apologize for that. All right. So on YouTube, we have. Let's see. Any questions on YouTube? All right. So Elizabeth Namasta says we are not allowed to possess the frequency of HT. Nothing about it all. Unconditional love is the ticket. You are you, I am I love you. All right, that was just a comment. Okay, let's see. All right, so Pamela Rose is saying your blood type determines whether you're a meat eater or just vegetables. Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing that. Okay, so Mass Awakening is saying, I have no tolerance for people that hurt children. I don't think any of us have tolerance for people that hurt children. I agree with you. I think there are some exceptions. No one should hurt a child. There is no exceptions. That is the ultimate sin. If you hurt a child, you know, shame on you. Let's see. Trying to get some questions here. All right, so let me go over to my social media. Let's see. It's hard to answer questions when the chat is going so fast. 1 second here. Bear with me, guys. I'm just looking for questions. I didn't realize this was going to be more complicated than what I thought. I thought that maybe by streaming on all my platforms, I could address many questions all at once. And for my Instagram family, I used to be very active on Instagram, but in the last few months, I have been shadow banned. I noticed that a lot of my content isn't getting the same views that it used to get, you know. But again, you know, I'm trying to do my best to broadcast to everyone now. Okay, so I do have a couple of super chats on my YouTube channel. I'm going to get to those first. Thank you so much for those that are donating. I really appreciate your donation. All right, so this is a chat from Tris10. Is there any chances, is there any changes to the book tour? I can't wait to meet you. No, everything's still as planned. You know, following my Vegas appearance at the Disclosure Fest, I'm going to be going to Salt Lake City, Utah on the 14th of November. And then on the 16th of November, I'm still going to be going to Denver, Colorado. And I believe on the 22nd, I'm going to be going to St. Louis, Missouri. And then we do have another super chat from Joyful. Thank you so much for your wonderful donation, sister. And she's asking, Ishmael, is it true about Trump being shot and killed back in 2022? Absolutely not. No. No, Trump has not been replaced. Trump is still Trump, the authentic original Trump. He has a lot of protection from the galactics, from the positive, benevolent extraterrestrials, especially the Venusians and the Andromedans and, of course, the Pleiadians, who, by the way, his wife is a Pleiadian. I don't know if you guys knew that, but she's a Pleiadian in human form, and she knows more than what we think. She doesn't really speak much about it, but he has special protection. So, no, that is false. Trump has not been shot. Okay, he has not been replaced. There is no clone Trump except the one that was generated by the cabal when he was pushing, you know, Project Warp Speed back in the day. That was not the real Trump. That was something else. But that was a computer-generated Trump. So the real Trump is still the real Trump. All right, so the second part of your question is, all right, so I guess you said, and he was brought back to life with a med bed. No, he was never shot. I don't know who's putting out that information. But Trump has a lot of special protection not only from his own personal Secret Service, but also from the interdimensionals that are constantly protecting him. Because according to Looking Glass, he is set to return in 2024 to finish draining the swamp. And then so when he does that, it's going to happen everywhere on the planet. All right, so we do have another super chat from Cosmic Goddess. Thank you so much for your donation. Greetings, Ishmael. Will star seeds that are self-absorbed and evil ascend, evolve to the fifth earth? Not if they're service to self. If you are a starseed out there and you are being wicked, if service to self, selfish, hurting others, chances are is that you're probably not going to make the ascension. But I doubt that there are starseeds out there with no heart. It is of my personal belief that all the starseeds, because they do come from a higher reality, it is embedded in their genetics to be at least 51% service to others. So I don't think that's applicable to starseeds. That's my opinion. All right, so thank you so much for the super chats, everyone. I'm trying to get to everyone here. All right, so we have another question from Phil Flask. He wants to know, will the truth about the Templars be told? My last name is Flaskin and means flag crusader. My name is on a Viking runstone. Yes, when the truth comes out. See, the Knights Templars were actually the Brotherhood of Light, the Melchizedeks, the heroes during the Dark Ages, medieval Europe. They infiltrated the Vatican Church through Bernard de Clairvaux in order to charter them and protect them. But the whole time he was there as the advisor to the Pontificar in order to protect the Templars. But then, of course, what ended up happening was, a couple hundred years later, through Philip the Bell, right, and the Pope Clement, they went against the Knights Templars. But the Knights Templars were the ones that initiated the Reformation, the Renaissance, the Scientific Revolution. And believe it or not, guys, the original plans to restore the Republic, which hasn't existed in over 2,500 years, since the last Republic of Greece, right, Solon of Athens, was initiated by the members of the Knights Templars, all right? And that's why they called it the Millennial Project of Restoring Zion. Nothing to do with Zionists. Zion means the free world, right? Like Bob Marley when he sang that song, right? Take me to Zion. Or in the Matrix, the free humans were, found a refuge in Zion. So the original term Zion means the land of freedom. So that was this country in its original context before it was infiltrated. Our constitutional republic was already, you could say, initiated long ago before the founding fathers established it by the Knights Templars. Thank you so much, Edward Cargin, for the wonderful donation, brother. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm trying to get to all the super chats, but let's see. Dale Karen, thank you so much, Dale Karen, for the donation. All right, so now I'm going to get to questions. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the right and answer some questions here from social media. I am once again playing hide and seek with my cursor. Bear with me. Oh, wait. I just lost my chat on... Oh, gosh. Somebody's saying that there's no audio on my Instagram. Are you sure about that? Close what up? Okay, so for the audio on Instagram, all you have to do is close it up and then reopen it, and you'll have audio. All right, so question from Dale Karen. Bear with me, guys. I have over 1,000 people from all platforms, and I'm just trying to find a question here. Oh, there we go. All right, so we do have some, let's see, super chats from, okay, so from Kathleen. Kathleen, thank you so much for the donation, sister. Thank you for your teachings and your many mind-blowing wisdom. We love you. Aw, greatly appreciated, guys. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for being here. It is an honor, and I said this before and I'll say it again. It is an honor to serve the one infinite creator in the most unprecedented times ever in the history of planet Earth, where for the first time in cosmic history, an entire species is going to ascend while maintaining physical form. And that's how powerful we're going to be. Let's see, I'm going to get to some more questions. All right, so let's get to some questions on Instagram. All right, so somebody's asking, are the Merovingians, oh God, I lost it. It's going so fast, I can't even focus on one question. I don't even know if this is going to be a good idea to broadcast on all platforms at once. Let's see. I think the question she had was the Merovingian bloodline of the Holy Grail? And the answer was yes. The Merovingians were definitely part of the Holy Grail, of the Magi Grail king and queen lineage. All right, so we have another chat from Xenia. Thank you so much for your donation. What do the light workers get after their selfless service to humanity? What do light workers get after their selfless service to humanity after they return to 5D or past any promotion land, whatever the source may be? Well, you know, our reward for being here at this time, for taking the call, for saving the organic way of life, and for being the new stewards of planet Earth when our dormant powers activate and we become the new Avengers and the new Justice League or the new X-Men, is that we're going to have access to the entire multiverse from this planet. We are going to be able to use our consciousness and our light body to access any realm, any reality, any planet, any galaxy, any universe we want at will. So we're going to have the entire multiverse at our disposal. And that is going to be something to look forward to. Okay, let's see, another question. So we have another question from Belly B. Thank you so much for your donation. Ishmael, you should recruit someone to help you with chat. I know I should. We are a great family here and love to help. I am old and slow. Oh, you are not old. No one here is old. The only old thing about you guys is your soul. All right? Not your avatar. Your soul is old, but your avatar is just your avatar, right? We have so many of them operating on every dimension, every reality, and every coordinate in the time-space continuum. That's right. We are simultaneously existing in the past and in the future and in everything in between all at once. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion, sister. All right, so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Instagram and just answer questions from my phone as well. Let's see if I could do that. All right, it doesn't show that I'm live on Instagram. That's weird. Interesting. All right. One second here, guys. I'm trying to see if I could answer questions from my phone here. All right, so I do have the chat, but only on YouTube. I don't know why Instagram is not showing up. I don't know how that works. Let me see. All right, so I guess I'll just use my phone to answer questions since it's right here in front of me. All right, a lot of people are concerned about what's going to happen in November. They call it Red November. I don't think, honestly, guys, I don't think any major thing it's going to happen, because if I intuitively felt that something huge was happening, I would have canceled my book tour, okay? I wouldn't put myself in danger. But I do feel that we are getting close to something big happening, but I don't think it's going to happen this month. All right, that's just my own personal intuition. I know a lot of people think that it's going to be EBS, that it's going to be, perhaps the grid going down. There are so many rumors about what's happening in November. But I do have a feeling that we are getting closer to the great revealing on a massive scale, where the entire airwaves are overtaken by the Y hats and everything's going to be known to the general public very, very soon. That feeling I do have. I just don't know if it's going to happen in the next few weeks, but we're getting closer to it every day, more so and more so. All right, so we have another super chat from MJF. Thank you so much for the donation, MJF. And your question is, do we need to give up all technologies in 5D? In 5D, the technology is going to be as an extension of ourselves. It's going to be connected to our consciousness via our light body. So we are going to be the technology. We are going to perform and do things even greater than cyborgs and artificial intelligence. Once we activate our dormant DNA, we are going to have the ability to teleport, to communicate telepathically. So we're going to be able to throw our phones away, right? We're going to be able to connect telepathically. In fact, all of the light warriors on the planet are going to be connected via an organic mind hive as we become a unimind, right? As we go into the 6th dimension, we do become a social memory complex. So we are going to be the technology. All right, I'm going to try to answer some questions from TikTok on the right here. People from TikTok have questions, do they? All right, Ricky Lee. Let's see. Ricky Lee's watching me from Facebook. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we have a question from Hemp Care. Adam Catman, we are returning to our original print DNA, and so our DNA upgrades will help absorb more of the light, so diet is important. Okay, so basically you're just stating a very universal truth. That is so true. Thank you for stating that. Okay, but I'm looking for questions. Who has questions for me at this time? Let's see. Okay, so we have a question from Rebecca. Rebecca Becknell. I'm sorry, I can barely see. My glasses are failing me. Beckhell, thank you. When the flash happens, will we be put into a deep sleep? I hear that because our bodies need to acclimate. I can't even speak. Because our bodies are going to need to acclimate to the new density, to the new dimension. Some of us are going to require a lot of sleep, yes. Just some of us, not everybody, okay? So everyone's different, And just to let you guys know, when the solar flash happens, it's going to affect everyone differently. Everyone's going to have their own subjective experience, okay? Not everyone's the same. So I'm looking for questions on my Instagram and TikTok. I don't think I'm getting any questions from Facebook. Am I even on live on Facebook? I hope I am. Let's see. Atlantis Mermaid has a question. Oh no, she's just answering Tony Lopez's question. All right, so Atlantis Mermaid is getting November 21st that something huge is going to happen. Okay, thank you for sharing, sister. Hopefully it's a good thing. Hopefully it's something positive, right? Let's see. So we do have a question from ML Fishel from Instagram. He's asking, how do you know starseeds are guided by good and not being misled by evil AI trying to deceive? That's a very good question. So, it is my hope that the starseeds have the proper discernment to distinguish between their spirit guides, their galactic self, from artificial intelligence. It is my hope that each and every single one of you guys has the discernment. In order to build your discernment, right, which is your psychic abilities, right, your ability to have that internal guidance system activated, you have to go within yourself. You have to find 20 to 30 minutes a day to meditate and spend that time and give it to the divine. And that will expand your ability to discern the difference. Okay, so we have another question from Facebook. I'm sorry, from Instagram. From Dr. Patrick. How important is it to detox our bodies right now? Very important. Oh my God, if you guys could do everything in your power to get those metals away, to get rid of all that nanographene oxide, it would be ideal. I take chlorella every day, spirulina. I drink alkaline water. I take other supplements to detox my body from the metals. So I hope you guys are all doing the same thing, you know, because we do get these nanoparticulates through everything. We get them through the soap that we use, the shampoos, you know, the food. If you guys are eating at restaurants, you guys are getting nanoparticulates. The best thing to do is to support your local farmers and cook your own food, okay? But yeah, it is very important to detox your body from these metals. It's going to be easier for you to transform when the, you know, solar flash takes place. All right, so we do have another question. I've already answered that. Let's see. All right, so Wolfie from YouTube. Wolfie is asking, is Merlin the wizard of the Templar story? That is a very good question. Some people believe that Merlin is also Saint Germain, right? The Kohan and ascended master of the seventh ray. Saint Germain, I don't know if you guys know, but was the mysterious figure that appeared at the signing of the Constitution of our Republic to encourage the men who were, you know, afraid of signing our independence from British rule. And he gave a speech to the founding fathers in order to encourage them to sign their independence. And right when they all signed, they all looked back and he was gone. So it is believed that Merlin and Saint Germain are one and the same. That is what I'm hearing. It could be true. All right, so we do have another super chat on YouTube from Raven Claw. Thank you so much for your donation, sister. And your question is, Ishmael, can you talk about the black blocks coming out of the sun? Are you talking about the sunspots? Well, sunspots are concentrations of energy, and that's where the CMEs are emanating from the sunspots. And it is believed that the sun is producing a lot of sunspots right now because, again, it's getting ready to erupt. Believe it or not, guys, our sun, just like the Earth, is also going through a transformation. So our sun is currently going through a transition. And when the sun is completely transformed into its new reality, you could say, so are we. You know, when the sun flips its magnetic pole, that's when we're also going to be shifting ages. And that's how it's always worked. And this is an event that has happened 5,200 times in the history of the Earth. Every 12,000 years, when our solar system aligns with Alcyon, the parent sun, the central sun of our cluster that we belong to, it goes through a period of light for 2,000 years, right? That is known as the Golden Age. And then it goes back into the period of darkness for about 10,000 years. That is a cycle that repeats itself over and over. But the difference now is that since we've already experienced 52 revolutions of that Platonic year, 25,000 year or so cycle, we are now completing a 226 million year cycle, which is the light of arm of our galaxy, which is our solar system with Alcyon and Sirius B revolving around the galactic core. So that means that no longer are we going to ever experience a dark age again. This is the fullness of time, the greatest dispensation ever bestowed upon humanity and bestowed upon our planet at this time. All right, so I am going to get some of the super chats on YouTube. Again, I want to welcome everyone from all my platforms. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so Sandy Mugler has a question. All right, so Trump just said that this November there will be an event that will be the best thing the country has ever had. What do you think it is? JFK Jr., maybe? or timeline split or solar flash. Hopefully all of the above. But, you know, I hope that something positive happens this month because, you know, a lot of people are suffering, all right? Especially a lot of innocent people due to these proxy wars that are taking place, right? It's really not a war between Hamas and Israel. Come on, let's just face it. It's a war between, you know, the deep state, right, and the white hats. That's what it boils down to, because the deep state know that they are in their final days. So to answer the second part of your question, the timeline split is already occurring, and it's happening in increments. All right, it hasn't fully. The timelines, the coexisting Earths right now that are coexisting simultaneously, are already starting to shift, and that shift began in June of this year, and it's going to reach a completion when all of a sudden the current reality structure and the new Earth is going to completely separate. All right, it hasn't happened yet on a collective scale, but on an individual basis is already happening. The timeline shift, the bifurcations of the two Earths is already in progress, guys. It's already in progress. All right, so let's get to another super chat. All right, so a question from Ricky Lee. How was AI created and by whom? All right, that is a very good question. What was its origin? Okay, so AI was created by Samana, one of the 12 cosmic archetypes in charge of the 11th creation. So we're part of the 12th creation. So the original AI was created in the 11th creation, which existed about 400 billion years ago, all right? And the person who created it was Samana, who later became Lucifer, under the mind control of the leader of the Archons, the king of the Archons, the Ahriman. The Ahriman is the consciousness that permeated the vehicle of the original or the first AI that was created 400 billion years ago in the 11th creation. After that AI completely assimilated and destroyed that creation and all those universes, in order for it to preserve itself, it needed to feed off of more organic life forms. So what did it do? It leaked into other universes, and that's how it ended up in our universe. Our universe is part of the 12th creation. Lord Michael Michael the Archangel, however you want to call it, is the overseer of our 12th creation. So all the wars that have ever been fought in the history of our cosmos, and this is what my next book is going to be about, by the way, but this is going to go into detail. The cosmic war with AI, right? Involving the central race of the Mother Universe and all the positive aliens. But the origin and the reason why all the wars have ever been fought in our cosmos is because of the Ahriman energy, which are the energies of the Antichrist, which express themselves through artificial intelligence. So that's where the original artificial intelligence came from the 11th creation. It infiltrated our universe as well as other universes within the 12th creation, which is the domain of Michael. Okay, and then the second part of the question, I guess I did answer. Okay, so the next chat is, but again, at the end of the millennium, the star seeds are going to be, when we reach our full power, we're going to have the ability to destroy the AI god, the Ahriman himself, and Enki, and all those, defectors from the light, all those entities that sided with the energies of the Antichrist. And in destroying the machine, we are going to liberate their spirit. And even the spirit of the Ahriman and the Archon energies are going to be transmuted back into light as a result of us winning that war. And from what I understand, I am gathering information from my future self. We did win that war. Because remember, according to quantum physics, it's all happening at the same time. The future battle that is taking place at the end of the millennium is happening as I speak. And the only reason why I know that we did win that war is because of the fact that we are still here existing, right? Otherwise, we would all cease to exist. All right, so I'm getting to another question. Oh, thank you for the donation. Stuart, thank you so much, brother. Let's see, any more super chats? All right, no? Okay, let's go to social media now. So I'm going to try to answer some questions from social media. Oh, wait, another one came in. 1 second. Oh, no, that's the same one. So, yeah, just to answer your question, Lucifer was the fallen archangelic that created the original artificial intelligence. All right, so we have a question from Instagram, from the Queen D. I am reading your book right now. Is there anything you left out of your book that you wish you would have put it in? Yes, that's why I'm writing another book. I failed to incorporate the entire, the whole connection with this negative AI that the entire cosmos has been fighting. So the next book, in order to understand my next book coming out in the next year or two, guys, it takes time to write a book, okay? Don't expect this book to be written overnight. It's going to give more detail. It's going to go more into the cosmic war with AI. It's going to involve the Central Race, the Brunas, the Ozirides, the Brigidets, the Rock Confederacy, the Blue Avians, which evolved out of Venus 2 billion years ago, by the way, that are part of the Rock Confederacy. I'm going to go deeper into the Emerald Order and much more. So yeah, the next book is going to be totally mind-blowing. All right, so we do have another question from Belly B. Oh, it's just a comment. She says, I missed live last night. I did do meditation. I felt everyone, and we were in a big bright circle holding hands. And Ishmael, you were in white clothes. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate all your visions and dreams, guys. Yes, I do believe that in other dimensions, a lot of us are very connected, very involved in the astral war against the energies of the Antichrist. All right, so do we have another question? Yes, we do, from Belam. Thank you so much for your generous donation. And your question is, how do you know if you're a starseed? To put it simply, if you feel like you don't belong here, all right? If you've always felt different, if you've always felt like you longed for home, like you felt different, that's how you know you're a starseed. Also, starseeds have a natural affinity towards metaphysics, the supernatural, spirituality, extraterrestrials, metaphysics, all that. If you're into mysticism, if you're into anything that has to do with metaphysical knowledge, then chances are that you are a starseed. And then the second part of your question is, and what's the difference between a light worker and a starseed? Same thing. All right, light workers, light warriors are starseeds. You guys are the legions of light from the higher dimensions incarnated in human form. And then another question is from, thank you. I have somebody assisting me here, by the way, guys. From Xenia, thank you so much for your generous donation, sister. Why so unfair to the twins, divine feminine, are not given the psychic abilities like their 50 human DM, which DM kept it secret and slowly reveals this? I really don't understand your question, sister. The twins, divine feminine. All right, so, okay, so one thing I wanted to share with everyone is that as we ascend, we are going to be integrating different parts of ourselves that exist in other dimensions, other timelines, other realities, parallel universes. We're going to bring all our fractals into full consciousness, into the here and the now. That's what's going to be happening. We're not going anywhere. We're staying here. We're spiritualizing matter. We're integrating our physical body with our energy bodies and our light body into the here and the now. We are collapsing, right, all the timelines into one positive timeline. That's what we're going to be doing. It's called polarity. No, it's called multidimensional integration, by the way. And I spoke about this before. Let's see, do we have any more super chats? I guess that's it. All right, so let's go to Instagram and TikTok. Do we have any questions from my fellow warriors from Instagram and TikTok? Okay, so we have one from Ellie. Ellie from Instagram. Who leads the Olympians? Okay, so the Olympians are also known as the Hyperboreans, right? They are the heroes, the legendary heroes of old, and a lot of them have returned. A lot of the Olympians are actually here in human form. It could be any of you. So the leader of the Olympians is still a direct descendant of Zeus. Because Zeus, who's also known as Enlil to the Sumerians, carries the highest concentration of galactic, universal, cosmic royal blood that comes from Lyra, from the original Elohim, Emerald Order, the Elohai Elohim, and then of course Syrians, right? The etheric advanced spiritual race that integrated with the original Elohim of Lyra. And then of course, you know, it also carries Pleiadian central Sun Alcyon DNA. So at the head of the Olympians, of the new set of gods and goddesses that are going to emerge when we transform, right? It's us. We are going to have what is known as the Kalki avatar, you know, Maitreya. I guess he's known by many names, but he comes from the direct seed of Zeus, all right? That's who's going to be at the head of the 144,000. And the only reason being is because this person is going to be the most purest, exerting the most compassion. His heart is going to be so pure. And so, of course, you know, he's going to be the most powerful one because of the fact that he's going to be full of unconditional love towards all living things. And as a result of that is that this person is going to have access to the powers, unlimited powers of the central sun. It's almost like Michael himself, who is the progenitor of the lineage of Zeus. By the way, Michael and Zeus are part of the same oversoul, is going to overshadow this Maitreya figure, known by many names, the Kalki avatar, Maitreya, El Mahdi, according to the Muslims, right? Whoever this person is. All right, so let's answer more questions. Let's see, I'm trying to answer questions also from my Instagram family and as well as TikTok. All right, so we have a question from, let's see. All right, so Ureka from Instagram she's just said hive mind ? All right, so there's this thing called the organic mind hive, right? where we become by combining our collective intelligences, we become even more intelligent. According to the law of one raw material, um, once we reach the sixth dimension, we become part of a social memory complex. Now, the difference between that and an AI mind hive is that in an organic social memory complex, we still maintain our individual memories and our individual autonomy, in other words, our individuality, in other words, our own consciousness, while being part of a collective consciousness, all at the same time. To give you an example, there are trillions of cells in our body that are a social memory complex, right? Working together to make the bigger organ work, which is your body. However, each cell also has its own individual consciousness, its own memories, its own subjective experiences, and its own freedom, its own free will. That's just an example of how a social memory complex works as we evolve into higher complexities, right? And that is, again, a natural law of the cosmos. All the cosmos is just a collection of fractals that are merging back as one. Because at the highest level of reality, it is one cosmic underlying field of energy that we call the omnisoul or the oversoul, right? So eventually we're all going to return to that. And the beauty of that is we're all going to remember who we are, and we're still going to maintain our individualized unit of consciousness and our free will. That's the beauty of being part of an organic mind hive. All right, so I'm going to take 2 more questions, guys. Can you read that?
Yeah. It says, I was wondering if we were...
All right, I'm going to be answering Danny from Instagram. Danny Ray is asking, I was wondering if we were placed here in darkness to learn the ways. Okay, so I think I know what your question is. We came here to destroy this current reality matrix from within. We're here to as way showers, as warriors. We took this call to pretty much blow the matrix from within, right? Because it's an inverted reality. So we came here to correct it through our vibration, through our frequency, and through the light that we emit, to answer your question. So yes, we are here to destroy the inorganic way of life and to bring it back, by the way, into the organic way of life. And believe it or not, guys, we come from the future. We come from the future in order to destroy the AI timeline or the technocratic dystopia. And that's why we're here. All right, so we have another question. I do want to get to another super chat before I answer the question on TikTok from Belam 1982. Thanks for answering my question. I guess I am a starseed, but I am having a lot of physical issues like flu-like symptoms. Is this normal? Yes, a lot of us still get the cold. A lot of us still get the common flu. It is normal, guys. Just because you're a starseed doesn't mean that you are immune to, health issues. All right. Some starseeds have diabetes. Some starseeds have, what is that thing called? Immune disorders. Heart disease. It's normal to have that. But when our bodies transform, or yet when we activate the crystalline DNA, all that stuff is going to miraculously be gone. Okay, so do we have another super chat? I guess that was it. And then I'm going to answer one more question from TikTok. Let's see. I'm trying to answer one last question from TikTok or from Instagram. I don't understand why my Facebook isn't working. I thought I was streaming on Facebook too. It's not on there. Right. No, the star. Okay, so Tracy R is asking, will the star seeds stay in 4D as you have said? No, I've never said that. I've always said that the star seeds are going to go into the 5th dimension and above. It is the Earth Terrans, the young souls. Those are evolving from the mineral kingdom to the animal kingdom to the human kingdom. Those are the ones that are going to be ascending in increments. So those are the ones that are going to be in the 4th density or 4th dimension. Whereas the star seeds are going to be going back to 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and above, all the way to the 12th, depending on where they came from. Depending on where they descended from, right? Because we all come from the future. So with that have said, I just wanted to thank everyone, all over 1,000 of you that are joining me on all my platforms here. Thank you so much for being here. I acknowledge each and every single one of you. I also want to remind you guys that tickets are almost sold out. So if you guys go to my Eventbrite, which I will put the link in the description, it is going to be awesome. I'm going to Utah, Salt Lake City on the 14th of November. On the 16th, I'm going to be in Denver, Colorado, and then followed by St. Louis, Missouri, and then Farmingdale, New York. Anyways, if you guys want to know the details, the Eventbrite will be in the description. And I always say this, and I will leave you guys with this. May the God Force be with you, and always may the God Force be with you. All right? Have a wonderful evening, guys.